Hey everyone, welcome to this podcast. Today we're diving into a topic that might sound like a sleep aid at first glance, but I promise it's actually a super practical tool, time-driven activity-based costing. If regular ABC is a flip phone, well, TDA-BC is your iPhone with Face ID and a battery that actually lasts. It's faster, easier to update, and bonus, you don't have to corner your coworkers to ask what they think they do all day. Instead, you let the math do the talking. So grab your pre-printed slides or pen or pencil and a strong cup of coffee. You'll want to lean in on this one. It's number heavy, but incredibly useful when done right. Here's what we're tackling today. First, I'll introduce time-driven activity-based costing and why it's a smarter upgrade over traditional costing, traditional ABC costing. Then we'll walk through two big uses. First, how Ridley Company uses TDA-BC to assign labor costs to customers. And second, how it used TDA-BC to understand and manage its capacity. We'll even play out a what-if scenario to see how time savings impact costs. And of course, we'll wrap up with some key takeaways you can use immediately. Let's jump in. So time-driven ABC does something radical. It assumes people know how to use clocks better than surveys. It replaces messy, subjective interviews with time estimates and standard data inputs. All you need are three things: your resource data, like how many employees you've got and what they earn; your activity data, like how long each activity takes; and third, cost object data, basically what customers or products use those activities. Traditional ABC involves asking employees how they spend their day, which usually turns into a mix of humble brags and meetings, of course. TDA-BC says forget that. No interviews, no estimating idle time. It uses time-based formulas to calculate cost and even tells you how much unused capacity is costing you. Let's meet Ridley. We're going to use their customer service department to walk through TDA-BC. Ridley wants to know how much time and cost is spent on specific customers. Here's the resource data. We know 30 employees, each making just under $30,000 a year and working 2,400 minutes a week. But only 80% of that is considered practical capacity. Okay, what's practical capacity? Well, that's the percentage that employees are not serving customers 100% of the time. That's that knowledge that they're just not going to be doing that 100% of the time because employees go on vacations, take breaks, are in training, attending to personal needs, etc. Thus, Ridley estimates that 80% of an employee's available minutes are spent actually serving customers. Okay? Next, let's look at activity data. The customer service department performs three activities: order processing, query resolutions, credit reviews. It also states the average number of minutes required to perform each activity one at a time. 10 minutes for order processing, 30 minutes for query resolution, and 40 minutes for credit reviews. Now, this probably came from a standards book, like those computed by industrial engineers, widely available for a whole wide variety of activities. Next, let's consider the cost object data. This provides activity data such as the number of orders processed actually, the number of customer queries, the actual number of credit reviews for customers, say customer A, customer B, customer C, maybe all the customers that you served during the entire year. For customers A, B, and C, all that information is listed. 30 number of orders processed for customer A, 18 for B, 7 for C. Number of customer queries, 17 for A, 10 and 8 for B and C respectively. Number of credit reviews, 111. You just do that one time. Then all together throughout the entire company, number of orders processed, 200,000. Number of customer queries, 4,500. Number of credit reviews, 8,900. Okay. TDA-BC is a three-step process, and here's where the number crunching begins, so lean forward. First, calculate total salaries, okay? So there are 30 people times 29,952 to obtain the total cost of resources supplied, 898,560. Okay, so far so good. Then calculate the total practical minutes available in the year, 52 weeks times 2,400 or 2,400 minutes per week times 80% that practical capacity times the 30 employees. That gives us 2,995,200 minutes. Divide salary by minutes and we get a clean 30 cents per minute. Okay, now apply those per minute costs to each activity. How much should each activity cost? Okay, order processing takes 10 minutes. So 10 minutes times 30 cents, that's going to be $3. That's how much each order processing should cost. Query resolutions take 30 minutes as well. That's per the standards book, probably like I said, one that industrial engineers put together, times 30 cents per minute. So $9 is how much that activity should cost. And credit reviews, 40 minutes, takes longer to do credit reviews, 30 cents a minute, 12 bucks, okay? Now we've got the unit cost per activity. Boom, okay? With that cost data per activity, then we're going to assign customer service labor costs for each activity. Order processing, query resolution, and credit reviews to customers A, B, and C. Those customers are the cost objects. So for example, to calculate the order processing cost assigned to customer A, we multiply the number of orders processed for the customer, 30, by that given rate of $3, so 30 orders for the customer. Each order takes $3, so altogether the order processing time for customer A should be 90 bucks, okay? Number of customer queries, 17 for customer A. The rate is $9, 30 minutes, 30 cents, $9, altogether $153 for that customer for the query resolutions. Number of credit checks, there was just one at $12, $12 in total. That brings the total customer service cost assigned to customer A of $255, okay? The total service cost would be assigned to customers B and C in the exact same manner. B works out to 156, C to 105. That's some important information. We know now exactly how much each customer cost us per year, so we can start using that for strategic management purposes. Now, customer costing is great, but Ridley also wants to plan staffing. So we total up all minutes required for every customer across all three activities. Let's add them up, and you've got 2,491,000 minutes of actual used capacity. Well, here's where TDA-BC gets insightful. Compare total minutes available from earlier to what was actually used. So the 2,995,200,000 was the minutes available to meet demands. The customer service minutes used to meet demand was 2,491,000. Wow, that's a big difference. 504 unused minutes. So let's remember, we took all of those employees times the minutes they work per week, backed it off for that 80%, and we came up with that almost 3 million. But the total customer service minutes used to meet demand, we only need 2,491,000. So we have unused capacity of 504. Well, let's take a closer look at that. That's a lot of coffee breaks or an overstaffed team. So now convert the unused minutes to people. That works out to about 5 full-time employees. Multiply that by the salary, and Ridley sees that they could cut nearly $150,000, more precisely $149,760 in excess labor. So TDA-BC equals cost clarity. And remember how we get this. This is the unused capacity. These are the number of minutes one employee works each year. So altogether, that's 5 employees worth of unused capacity or excess labor. Now some additional magic. What if analysis? What if we improved the credit review efficiency? Now, they were taking 40 minutes for a review. What happens if we can get that down from 40 minutes for a review to 30 minutes? To understand how this affects the cost assigned to customers A, B, C, we change the credit review from 40 minutes to 30 minutes and recalculate the three-step process. So we know then if it only takes 30 minutes instead of 40 like we had before, that brings the cost down to only $9 from $12. And this saving is going to be filtered on through that time-driven activity rate that now drops from $12 to $9 means the total credit review cost is only $9. And so the total customer service cost drops to $102. Now, small changes, but those could make a big difference for the number of customers that we might be talking about. So why time-driven activity-based costing deserves a gold star? First, it's easy to update, no awkward employee interviews. I like to call it clarity without workplace therapy sessions. You don't need to ask, why do you feel like you spend time on this? You just calculate it. It's easy to refresh, shows you where the waste is, and lets you test ideas before rolling them out. It's like budgeting with a crystal ball and a whole lot less judgment. Well, that's a wrap for time-driven activity-based costing. You now know how to use TDABC to allocate cost, plan capacity, and answer critical what-if questions. You've seen how Ridley did it. Now think about how your company could do it too. Costing doesn't have to be fuzzy, and with TDABC, it's not. Get ready to use it all in class, in cases, and maybe even in your job before the semester's over. Let's go.